More threatening weather is moving through the Red River Valley. This is on top of some hail that fell earlier today in northeastern North Dakota.
That's the same area that's under the gun right now, so to speak. Let's find out from Nathan, who joins us with our no-wait weather planner. Nathan, what's going on out there?
Mike and Andrea still have a very active situation, especially in our northwestern neighborhoods. Do have one severe thunderstorm warning north of Maddock, which actually expires here in about 30 seconds. And we do have another thunderstorm warning just outside of Candu. We see a lot of lightning with this. So the primary concerns with these two warnings, the one that expires right about now, and this one in Towner County moving into moving in toward Munich as well. It's going to be hail upwards of 1 inch or more in diameter, as well as winds gusting to 60 miles per hour or greater and torrential rainfall. So localized flooding not out of the question with this as it heads in toward Munich. And we did just get a tornado warning issued for Bisbee. This just came out about 10 seconds ago. This storm, we now need to switch to velocity and see where this the center of this is. So this includes Bisbee. This is heading toward Rock Lake. And this warning was just issued. Let me read the text on this tornado warning that came out. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Bisbee or 42 miles northwest of Devil's Lake, moving northeast at 25. So this does include Rock Lake. So folks, this just came out. It looks to be around Perth and Arndt around 6:10, Rock Lake around 6:30, and Armourdale around 6:35. Let's see if we can get a better look here at where that rotation is. And it does look like there is a bit of a velocity couplet located right there over Bisbee. If we take a look and circle that velocity couplet, that right there, I believe, is what the radar is picking up when it comes to that rotation over Bisbee. Again, this warning just came out about just moments ago for those folks in Bisbee. So now, folks, not only do you have that torrential downpour, that frequent lightning, that quarter-sized hail as well, now we do have a rotation in the storm that could possibly drop a tornado at any given moment. So folks in Bisbee, right along Highway 66, right near Highway 281 as well, now is the time to head inside the safe spot of your home, away from those windows. Although there's nothing confirmed yet that anything's on the ground, there is rotation that has shown up on the radar that indicates a tornado could fall from this storm at any given moment. So take this storm seriously if you weren't already. Now that there's rotation in the storm, there is even more reason, folks, to take this storm seriously. This includes Rock Lake. Folks in Rock Lake, you do have some time to make those preparations to get inside your home, away from those doors and windows, as expected to be around Rock Lake there around 6:30 p.m. So about 30 minutes away from Rock Lake, as we can put a storm cone on this and see how far. There we go. 35 miles per hour. Let's zoom out. So this again, folks, that purple box there is where we do have that tornado warning. So this goes all the way up into the international line for those folks in Bisbee. This was rotation that was radar confirmed just moments ago right near Bisbee. And I do see a little bit of that velocity couplet, the sea storm relative, and see if that shows up a little bit better. Yes, that is much better. So if you folks can see right there just outside of downtown Bisbee, kind of that dark, that lighter green there and that darker red right there, that does show rotation. When those reds and those greens meet, that indicates a very tight rotation. So this right along Highway 66 is where this rotation is at this time, and we can loop this around and see where that is coming from, where that's going, moving northeast at, we'll get some speeds here for you, moving northeast at, I believe it was 35 miles per hour. Yes, 25 miles per hour northeast. So that does include Rock Lake. So folks in Bisbee, now is the time to head inside, away from those windows. And see if we can zoom in and see. This is looking to cross Highway 281 here. And this is just between Arndt. This is between Arndt and Bisbee is where that rotation is, just outside of Bisbee. So folks in Bisbee and folks heading toward Rock Lake, head inside, get away from those doors and windows, as not only is there rotation with this storm indicated on radar, there is also that frequent cloud-to-ground lightning and torrential downpours. You can see that purple, that deep purple there shows there's a lot of rainfall and hail with this. As we see what the hail estimates are, we'll see we are expecting, or the radar is estimated hail, that little bullseye there just south of Bisbee, hail around 2.4 inches. That is, of course, estimated by the radar, but that is right on the south end of that rotation, which is where we would expect with this particular setup to see that most intense hail with this particular system. So looking at that radar, you do see kind of that right near Bisbee, that kind of dry slot. If we can draw a little picture here, there is that kind of dry slot, which does indicate some rotation in the storm as drier air is being sucked into right near Bisbee, which is the eastern side of this particular cell. So that does, again, sets the foundation of this rotation right now that has been picked up near Bisbee. And we'll turn the warnings back on for you and see that this tornado warning came out around 6 o'clock even. So right when we started here, Valley News Live at 6. And this storm, again, lots of lightning with this, in addition to that torrential downpour. That purple there is that heavy rainfall, in addition to possibly some hail with that as well. The velocity, of course, is what we look at to really pinpoint where that best chance of rotation is. And that's a correlation coefficient. We'll stay on the storm relative and see right there. That really does show the best bet there. That kind of the green and the red. We'll circle that again. So you see where the green, that bright green, and that bright red meet right near Bisbee. That is where we're seeing that what we call inbound and outbound winds, which is, of course, your velocity, which shows a tighter rotation, which has, of course, caused the issuance of this tornado warning as of 6 p.m. And that tornado warning, if we get the text on that, looks to go until 6:45 this evening. So for another 40 minutes on that tornado warning. Looking to move northeast at 25 miles per hour, so a tornado and quarter-sized hail are possible hazards with this storm right near Bisbee. And that's so around Perth and Arndt around 6:10, so that's about 5 minutes, and then Rock Lake around 6:30. This is, of course, in addition to that severe thunderstorm warning right next to it with that hail and wind moving toward Munich. So you see a very well-defined hail core just south of Munich. That storm is also moving north at about 25 miles per hour. So folks in Munich, although you don't have a tornado warning for your area in Munich, you do have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for your area at this time, as we show you that yellow box there is that severe thunderstorm warning for those folks in Munich. Big picture again shows the tornado warning is for those folks in Bisbee. So just south of Rock Lake, we still see that kind of hook appearance on the radar, which shows, again, that dry air is moving in, wrapping around the storm from this direction. So dry air is moving in, which again causes that storm to rotate. And all of these storms are moving into an area with lots of heat, lots of humidity, lots of moisture. So that really does amplify the fact that this has the potential of dropping a tornado. Nothing has been confirmed at this time that I have seen. I'm going to look at the National Weather Service's Twitter and see if anything has been confirmed on this. But latest rumblings where nothing was confirmed. So yeah, this is only a radar-indicated tornado at this time, which is, of course, that rotation on the velocity that shows that rotation, which is moving toward Rock Lake around 25 miles per hour. And then, of course, flip on that velocity radar again, you do see just a little bit of that rotation right there. Again, we're talking about that dry air wrapping in around this rotating storm. So you do see where that green and that red meet right near Bisbee is that best bet that if there was a tornado on this, that's where it would be. Now it's north of Bisbee and north of Arndt, so heading toward Highway 281 around 25 miles per hour, and this also includes those folks in Rock Lake where that rotation is moving toward. And so the Weather Service has had this warning go all the way up to the international line. So the atmosphere in that area is conducive to these rotating storms, to keeping these storms rotating and possibly dropping that tornado at any given moment. So take this storm seriously. Again, in addition to torrential downpours with isolated localized flooding, that is all a possibility with this tornado warning, in addition to that rotating system, which could drop a tornado any given time. So folks in Bisbee, it looks like that most intense or the most likely spot of seeing that rotation is now north of you. So now folks in Rock Lake, now is your time to head inside the safe part of your home. That's an interior room away from those doors and windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside of your home as you possibly can, because the likelihood of this particular storm being wrapped in rain is quite high because of how much moisture there is and how much rainfall there is associated with this. So those folks in Rock Lake, notice how you have a lot of rainfall, even some hail at this time, but the actual rotation is just near Bisbee. So likely you wouldn't be able to see any particular funnel cloud or possibly tornado approaching you until it would be too late. So again, take this storm very, very seriously, because that frequent lightning is also a player for this particular tornado warning. So we will see one more time where those two warnings are. We have a tornado warning in effect for those folks in Rock Lake, which is in those areas around Rock Lake. You can see that purple box is that tornado warning. So again, folks in Bisbee, things look to be okay in Bisbee, but folks in Rock Lake, now is the time to head inside the interior part of your home, away from those doors and windows. And then also for those folks in Munich, you have a severe thunderstorm. There's no rotation on this particular storm, but you do have a very strong storm, a severe storm with winds gusting to 60 miles per hour and hail upwards of 1 inch in diameter. So again, folks in Rock Lake, now is your time to head inside, away from those doors and windows, as that purple box there you see is a tornado warning, because we do have some rotation just north of Bisbee, moving north at 25 miles per hour. This warning again goes until 6:45 this evening for Cavalier and Towner counties. So those folks again in Cavalier and Towner counties need to take this storm very seriously, as you likely would not be able to see any funnel cloud or tornado on the ground if it was moving toward you. So take that warning seriously, head inside, away from those doors and windows. And even if that rotation may not affect you, that torrential rainfall, that damaging wind, and that damaging hail could also affect you there in Rock Lake, as that is also a possibility with this particular storm. But we will see, again, that rotation is just north of Bisbee, where that brighter green is and that brighter red is, where the velocity couplet, what we call that's the velocity couplet, where that is shown is the most likely location of seeing a tornado on this. But of course, we will watch this velocity couplet very carefully, and we'll get it back to Mike and Andrew for the latest news here at the top of the 6 o'clock hour.
All right, thanks so much. And for those of you in that area, if you have any photos or if you have any video of the storm action, don't put yourself in any danger, you can send it to us at news@valleynewslive.com, or you can send it also to our Facebook page. And some more advice: make sure that you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so you can keep up with weather anytime, anywhere. You're going to get the latest forecasts and conditions so you can plan your day. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free.
He sure is a tough little soldier, though. He fought and won, you know. Basically a grown man's war, you know.
A member of the Spirit Lake Sioux tribe has pleaded guilty in district court to charges stemming from a January assault that left a child suffering serious injuries. 22-year-old Jonathan James Hill confessed that he assaulted an 18-month-old baby with his fists and shoved the child into walls. The baby, Isaac, was life-flighted to Fargo, where he underwent multiple surgeries and treatments for the next 4 months.
Today, Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley spoke exclusively with the young boy's grandmother, who says she hopes Hill spends the rest of his life behind bars.
It's been a long uphill battle for the family of baby Isaac.
It was a nightmare, you know, it's pure nightmare.
Delorme remembering that phone call she got from her daughter just 8 months ago.
She was screaming, telling me that baby Isaac wasn't breathing anymore. I had to have her repeat it a few times because I wasn't understanding.
1-year-old Isaac was found unresponsive, and Delorme says 22-year-old JJ Hill blamed it all on a dresser falling on the child. Baby Isaac was soon flown to a Fargo hospital, where he stayed for over 4 months.
He pretty much had to learn how to do everything all over again, you know, eat, walk, and talk.
But now,
baby Isaac he's doing good, you know, he's gonna be okay. He sure is a tough little soldier, though. He fought and won, you know. Basically a grown man's war, you know.
Delorme says the only thing between her and her family closing this horrific chapter is the sentencing of the man who's pled guilty to it all.
I'd like to see him behind bars forever, because he's just not right.
Delorme says until then, the family will be writing letters to the judge to hopefully sway his decision on a longer sentence. But more importantly, they'll be soaking up every minute they get with sweet baby Isaac.
Before anything like this all happened, you know, he was Grandma's boy.
Is he still?
Yeah, he is still.
In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Sentencing for Hill is set for December 16th.
Stick around. We'll have latest updates on what's going on in the north central part of our viewing area with a tornado warning from Nathan, and more news for you. Stick around. Valley News Live at 6 continues.